Hey, this is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, the Big Bad Booty Daddy, and you listen to ICOPOD, the best podcast going today. Holler if you hear me.
And we're back with episode 81 of ICOPOD. I'm Bob Conley Jr. And with me, as always, is Austin Skinner. Austin, how are you?
I'm good, Bob. How are you?
I've been better. Last week was pretty rough, and I try to go into every week with a positive mindset and attitude. And to be quite honest with you, it doesn't look like it's going to get much better this week. But, we're two good friends, and we're here to support each other to get through this difficult time. And I know that as a team, we will do just that.
I would like to think so, but I don't know, man, because I'll be honest with you, I just betrayed your trust.
Why is that?
I screen capped a picture of you drinking your drink.
Yeah.
With the cutoff tan that you have.
Yeah.
And I'm considering posting it on the ICOPOD Facebook page.
Why would you do that?
Because I'm trying to get likes.
This is a skin disorder.
It's a horrible picture.
It's really bad.
I'm just going to be honest with you.
It's fine. It's fine. Look at this.
It's fine. A man's man.
Yeah.
Of a tan.
I can't believe you broke my trust like that.
Let's see if I can post this in the chat. Let's see if it'll help me do that. Yeah. Instead of a Vince Russo segment this week, you're looking at a picture of your fucking self. So get ready. Ooh, I don't want to fuck anything up here. Hang on. We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Here we go. You let me know if I can post this bad boy. Because no matter what you say, I'm going to do it anyway. But, let me know. Bob in all his glory. That's my caption. It's a Vince Russo original.
Do it up.
It's going up. It's going up tonight.
I can laugh at myself.
Well, because then I can say, you guys will understand this later.
I'm the sex symbol for this program.
Oh, yeah, I'm for sure. I'm the reason people tune in, but you're like the eye candy.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm all right this week. We have another exciting week to get through, if that's what you can call it, which I don't think you can, but we can do that. We make up the rules here on ICOPOD.
Yeah. I had suggested that we do the mid-year awards thing, but we'll do that next week.
I was just going to say, thanks for letting me know because I didn't fucking do that. So if you would have had a list, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, I didn't do that either. So we'll do it next week. We'll start off July 94 with some mid-year awards.
Cool.
To be quite honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, or let me just say, to be quite honest with you, gentlemen that are listening to this, it's likely, last week's episode was an hour, 8 minutes or something like that.
Which is short.
If I had to guess, this one might be even shorter.
I'm going to guess 45 minutes.
It might. It legitimately might. But, sometimes we run into those. Sometimes we go for 2 hours on just basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, hopefully you guys don't feel gypped out on this free podcast that you pay nothing for. So, hopefully you don't feel entitled to an hour and 45 minutes every single week.
Or as Hogan 98 Money would say, jibbed. He likes to say jibbed.
I got jibbed, man.
Yeah, he got jibbed.
He doesn't cuss.
He's a horse's ass.
Yeah, I never liked Hogan 98 Money. I'm going to Poughkeepsie with him tomorrow, but I don't like him.
Remember when he was going to redesign your website and he just did a pattern and was like, dude, you're using this? And you're like, dude, no, I'm not.
Yeah, because the patterns look like miniature penises.
You made that part up. You made that part up.
It was legitimately true.
They were turnbuckles with fucking stars, dude.
No, listen,
Just
I am
just because it resembled a phallic symbol.
Yeah.
You gotta think beyond that.
I'm well aware that WrestlingRecaps.com is super basic and to the point, which is the point. It's just me and several other guys writing reviews. Like Mike Campbell, he's written a few for me or for the website. You have written a few for the website. It's not some like professionally made thing. I don't got time for that.
Remember when I used to write for you pretty consistently and then I was like, wow, I got better stuff to do?
Yeah. There was a reason why I bought these 1,100 magazines to like review them and stuff. I've made it to about 40, I think. So
that's more than I would have made it to, man.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do more, but it's just like time consuming, and I like doing them, but I don't know.
Right.
But the point of it, WrestlingRecaps.com, is just to be by the book, pretty simple. Same thing with like ICOPOD here. Like, we're not a super professional podcast or anything.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I take fucking exception to that. You hear that language?
I am currently shirtless with a tank top sunburn, drinking a Pepsi out of a glass that I just bought from Kohl's last weekend because I retired my souvenir cups. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
I've retired the souvenir cups.
That lady is changing you, Bob.
Sarah, and again, a name drop. Sarah did not have a gun to my head saying, get these the fuck out of here and get glasses. She did not threaten me that I'm 30 years old and should be a grown adult.
Wow.
None of that happened.
Wow.
She can't even hear a word of me talking about this, but she has headphones in listening to music as she does homework. Is
she sitting on your couch?
She is not. She's in the bedroom.
Okay. Well, to tell you how professional I am, I'm sitting at a desk with basically whitey tighties, but they're like the Under Armour version, so I'm kind of a badass.
There you go.
And I also have a signature Loca Vita shirt, which is the 2CW's version of Rey Mysterio. R.I.P. 2CW. Shout out to Dynamite Derek, who's doing his thing. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I got my quarter bottle of water here that's left from last week's episode. Yeah, I've been sitting here all week, just kind of waiting to hit record. But yeah, man, that's kind of the way. Hey, we're in way better shape than we were. Oh, gee, I don't know, about a year ago when I was sitting in my goddamn closet with no microphone, a fucking iPhone speaker headset.
Yeah.
We've come a long way and we've been consistent. So I take exception to the fact that we're not professional. This is as professional as it gets, folks.
Well, if you like professional, you'll love the professional stakes of
that Omaha Steaks.
Omaha Steaks. That's right, guys. For the low price of $99, you can get a 7-ounce steak, a Diet Coke, and some broccoli from Omaha Steaks. That's right. Just tell them that Bob Collins Jr. sent you right over there for $99.
Use promo code Fozzie. I mean, ICOPOD.
ICOPOD.
To get those steaks. They might give it to you. Who knows?
Hey, guys. Ever since I got a girlfriend, man, it's been a lot easier to have sex with this Blue Chew. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah.
Chew World Order,
Chew
Tony.
World Order. Yeah.
I mean, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. We got all of our plugs out of the way.
I've been executively producing that ass for a few weeks now. That's
hey,
right.
Yo.
Eric Bishop, Bob Collins Jr. What up, man?
Hey yo.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, I really hope she's not listening to any of that because she'll probably punch me in the face.
Oh, she's probably pissed. I hope I get to witness domestic abuse for the first time on camera.
Yeah, she will.
Live.
Yeah. If my entire chest turns red, it's not because my sunburn's expanding, it's because she's probably stabbed me.
I think that was a whole like branding iron thing where she just like branded your whole body, but let you wear like a tank top.
Oh.
You know, but everything else just got branded.
I thought it was going to be a really good idea to wear the tank top to tennis.
No. What does she think of your tan?
She thinks it's hilarious.
It's pretty fucking funny. I'll be honest.
She's the one that's put aloe on it like 3 times now. So.
Oh, isn't that cute?
It's all clumpy on my neck.
Did you tell her that you were 30 and that you could probably take care of that?
Well, it's easier if she does it.
Yeah, you probably fuck after.
She can get my back.
You're a pervert.
She gets my back, I get her back.
Yeah, in the back side.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, observer notes.
Okay.
Boy.
Your face is getting as red as your fucking chest is, Rob.
Transition. No, onto some observer notes. Let's get on with the actual program. That's why everybody's here. The British
Don't worry,
Bulldog.
it'll only be 20 minutes, folks.
Yeah, don't worry. This will be a quick one. This will be the same length of a Friends episode on Netflix. It's fine. It'll be. The British Bulldog looks to be returning in September.
Fuck yeah.
An England tour. So last week we were like, they might bring him in. It looks like he will be there, in fact, by the fall. Another interesting little tidbit of news here. Kevin Nash, I guess, was in communication with Sid Vicious back in the fall of '93. And he told him to call the WWF because the company is interested in bringing him back. Mind you, I believe by the fall of '93. I mean, Sid still, like he was at Havoc.
It's like a main eventer.
Yeah, he was still actively on television pretty regularly. So maybe it was more towards Battle Bowl.
Yeah.
That maybe that conversation transpired, or maybe Sid had actually been fired by that point. So
yeah, he had softball to do. So
I would imagine he did. Yeah, right. But I'm all about having Sid Vicious back in the WWF. The first time in ICOPOD in terms of a WWF role.
Yeah.
But sign me up for that. I like me Sid Vicious because he's absolutely hilarious and entertaining.
He's a guilty pleasure.
100%.
He's a guilty pleasure guy.
100%.
So.
Speaking of some guilty pleasures, there's a list of men returning for the B shows on the house shows.
Oh boy.
And these guys include the following wrestlers. And Dave Meltzer makes sure to point out that these guys are the new generation performers. Their names are Yo, bro! Virgil.
The one and only.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh my God.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I hope this is a joke.
It's not. Coco Beware. Lanny Poffo. Damian Demento. Mike Sharp. And Jim Powers. Mind you, we've already seen Jim Powers. We saw Virgil last week. It's been a little bit since we've seen Coco Beware, I believe. Valentine was at the Royal Rumble. Demento we haven't seen since like spring of '93. Mike Sharp is usually around. But yeah, those are the lovely additions to the B shows.
I'll be back. I gotta go throw up.
Okay. And you know what? In fact, I think B shows even mean like Superstars and Wrestling Challenge and stuff like that. So it might not even just be house shows. We might be seeing these guys on TV quite a bit.
You know what I'm hoping for?
Yeah.
If they don't do this in like before SummerSlam, if we don't get a Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Nikolai Volkov match on Raw, we're not watching anymore. SummerSlam's our last show. Because that's the only thing that's going to keep me around. Because
honestly,
you want to talk new generation? Prove it. Don't just sing it. Bring it.
I want a Diesel Sergeant Slaughter match right now. Right now. Give it to me. I'm serious.
I'm fucking done. Fucking done.
The Raw on 6/13 got a 3.3 rating.
That's pretty surprising as well, seeing as the promoted match was 1-2-3 Kid versus Nikolai Volkov.
No, 6/13 is actually the Quebecers Headshrinkers match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So next week I'll have June 20th and June 27th.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. I fast forwarded, sorry.
You did. Let's go to some house show notes. The first one, Sacramento, California, Arco Arena, June 25th. 3,000 fans in attendance.
Okay.
And the card is the following. Nikolai Volkov taking on Virgil.
Fuck.
Sparky Plug taking on Louis Spicoli. The Smoking Guns taking on Tom Pritchard and the Barbarian, who was a substitute for Jimmy Delray.
Jesus Christ.
Duke Drosy taking on Adam Bomb.
Okay.
Mabel squaring off against Bam Bam Bigelow. IRS in singles action against Tatanka. And the main event was WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel defending against Razor Ramon inside of a steel cage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Throwing us the curveball, huh?
Yeah.
Shit, I might go just for that because I was not expecting that.
I'm a sucker
Ooh.
for a cage match.
Yeah, but dude, you got to fight through a lot of shit to get there.
Yeah, that's why I don't think I can go to this one. I mean, yeah,
You're not
sure.
going to this one?
Sure, Virgil's on it, but it's against Volkov.
Yeah, but on the house show loop, he's pulling out all the stops because
Yeah,
he don't got to
doing
worry about
450s.
TV. Yeah. Oh man, that's tough. You know what? I'm getting cheap seats.
Wow. All right. Well, I'll have you like stream it or something, like film it, and then I'll just watch it that way.
Okay. Yeah, like I'll FaceTime you.
Yeah.
You just watch it. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
On the same day in Montreal, Quebec, at the Forum, there was a show, and it had 12,248 fans in attendance.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, outside of the Garden, that's one of the highest attended shows. It looks like.
Okay.
The card featured 1-2-3 Kid taking on Quang, the Bushwhackers squaring off against the Executioners,
Oh my God.
Lex Luger in singles action against Crush, WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze defending against Luna Vachon, Jeff Jarrett squaring off against Doink the Clown, WWF Tag Team Champions the Head Shrinkers defending against the Quebecers, Yokozuna taking on Typhoon, and the main event was WWF World Champion Bret Hart defending against Owen Hart.
That's pretty rough. It gets better as you go.
Yeah.
So, like, buy your ticket, go out to dinner, and, like, head in midway through, right after admission hits, or intermission.
Mm-hmm. You're
good. You're solid. But beforehand, absolutely not.
It says here in the description of it that the Quebecers actually played the role of baby faces, while the Headstringers played the roles of heels.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. The Quebecers are probably over in Quebec, so Montreal.
Yeah, but even still, that's super weird, too.
I think I would go to this one in comparison to Sacramento. I'm getting Brett Owen. I'm getting the Headstringers, Quebecers. Yeah.
But damn, that main event draws me in.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They're both pretty mixed. I guess I'm getting more of a ticket, more of my money's worth with the second one. So, yeah, I'll get better seats for that one. But I think I'm still going to the Sacramento show just to see that cage match.
This is a rarity where one of us actually won't go to one of the shows.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to both. I'm gonna get better tickets in Montreal.
Yeah.
Sacramento, I'm gonna go just so I can rub it into Bob's face that I saw the cage match live.
Yeah, jerk.
But yeah, I guess I'll go to the second one as well.
Show off.
Yeah, suck it.
Let's go to some syndication here. On the June 25th edition of Superstars, Typhoon was in singles action against Pierre.
Oh, yes. So glad we watched this.
Yeah. This is the return of Typhoon to Superstars. Of course, we saw him on Raw last week. He's back after a failed run in WCW as the Shockmaster. I mean, he literally tripped over a wall. So...
and gets the gimmick like weeks later.
Yeah, like that evening. He was switched around. So he's here against Pierre, who, mind you, is a former tag team champion, kind of an upper mid-card act at one point.
Fuck Pierre.
So let's see. Okay, wow, that's rude. Let's see how this plays out here. Typhoon casually shoves Pierre down to the canvas to start the match. Pierre is not able to do anything as Typhoon is just too big and strong. Typhoon puts a full Nelson on Pierre and just drops him as Pierre reached the ropes. Johnny Polo distracts Typhoon, and finally Pierre can get some offense in. He jumps onto Typhoon's back a few times across the middle rope. Pierre drops Typhoon with a missile drop kick off the top for a 2 count. Pierre chokes Typhoon over the middle rope as he keeps his offense extremely basic at this point. They botch a splash in the corner, so they do it again.
Yep.
And Typhoon knocks Polo off the apron, and then Typhoon wins the match following a big splash off the ropes. Needless to say, Pierre got like a couple of seconds in there to showcase what he can do. But with a guy like Typhoon, who is basically a rock, and he doesn't really budge for anything, this pretty much sucked.
It was okay. This match felt like it went on for 20 minutes.
It did.
I literally have a sentence down. And for me, dude, that's unheard of. I just didn't care. Didn't care. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't. Okay, first of all, I like Jacques. Okay.
You've always been a Jacques guy. Yeah.
Fucking, I like Jacques. I do not like Typhoon. So here's 2 guys I don't like fighting for way too fucking long on Superstars. Yeah. I wanted to come over there, rip your nipples off, Bob, and throw them on a pizza and call it pepperoni.
Thanks, man.
For this.
I don't know. Oh, because I'm the one that made you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that just registered in my brain.
Because goddamn it, man.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, I guess you wouldn't have to have watched it.
Exactly. I could have gone my whole life without seeing that.
Yeah.
Because fuck, when you send me 3 videos of syndication to watch, I'm like, all right, hopefully this is some good shit. But no, just cross out the good. Hopefully this is some shit. Well, yeah, I got what I wanted. Fuck.
I got exactly what I was expecting. Yeah.
Shit.
That's the best thing about syndication is that's where they bury all the nonsense, and that's where I send it to you.
If you like Typhoon, please unsubscribe. Please unlike our Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm going out on a limb here. Block our page before we find you and block you. And I'll do it because Bob won't. I will.
Yeah, I won't.
Ask Michael Vincent. He still ain't my friend on Facebook. Because God damn it. Fuck Typhoon. And anybody who loves him.
Yeah. If you like Typhoon, then we don't like you.
Yeah, this show ain't for you, motherfucker.
Yeah. On the June 25th edition of Superstars, The Undertaker made his return, competing against PJ Walker.
Poor guy.
On commentary throughout the match, Gorilla Monsoon and Jerry Lawler act as if it's the original Undertaker, and Monsoon can't believe that he's doing this. Lawler's kind of defending it.
Yep.
Taker does like a running, leaping clothesline, and just right there you can tell it's not the original Undertaker.
It's not as crisp and not as high.
No. It's more like a rollover instead of like a flyover, and it's kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
Especially after the tombstone, when the Undertaker like whips his hair back, you can noticeably tell that it is in fact not the real Undertaker.
Well, and just the way he goes into the taunt, he like swings his whole arm back and like swings it up. It's just little things like that you can kind of see through.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a quick like minute 30 squash. But having him actually wrestle on television, I think, is hurting the illusion. I agree. I maybe would have avoided doing that.
No, I agree. To be fair, though, and again, I'm kind of going out on a limb saying this, but to be fair, if I didn't know any better and was just a casual fan, I'm thinking that's the Undertaker.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've seen worse shit where you can see through immediately. With this, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably the guy. Oh, he might be just having an off night. That's probably him, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am still impressed. I'm still impressed with how shitty and bad this could be. Because, again, that's what I remember it being. To actually watching it and like, okay. Like, it's passable. Is it an A+? No. But D's get degrees, baby.
There you go.
So, fuck it.
Yep. I mean, I'm not really invested in the angle
No, me neither.
Again, I just like that Brian Lee's kind of getting some shine.
Yeah, something.
Let's get right into the June 27th, 1994 edition of Monday Night Raw. This week we are taped because we are still in White Plains, New York.
And you can tell it's just like the second hour of the show.
100%.
Yeah.
Highlights from last week's attack by Jerry Lawler on Duke Droese starts the program. Droese cuts a promo and he says he knows what he has in store for Lawler tonight. Lawler also cuts a promo and talks about having trash dumped on him. He explains his actions for attacking Droese with the trash can. And he mentions that he has been forced to apologize. But he just doesn't want to be fined or suspended by WWF officials. Lawler can handle that, but he cannot handle having to apologize. Eventually, though, under his breath, a couple of times Lawler apologizes before audibly saying it to the camera that he apologizes for his actions, but he's clearly not happy about having to do so. This, to me, I mean, I get why they're doing it, but it also kind of just takes away the heat from the story. Because you're acknowledging that maybe you went too far with the storyline or whatever. So I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of the whole apology aspect of this.
It's just so weird. Like it just doesn't make sense. And it's okay. So Duke gets his little 30-second blurb.
Yeah.
30 seconds. King gets about 3 minutes. And at least half of that time is him being like, I don't want to say it. Like it's just so weird. Like, what is this accomplishing? And I don't know. It's almost like, because it doesn't feel real. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're trying to make it feel real, and it's not coming across. It's coming across oppositely. Because it's so forced. That was the main word I could think of while I was watching this opening video segment. It's just weird. It's like a weird direction. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like anything about it.
It's really phony.
It's so phony.
Not sincere type of stuff.
Yes.
And the whole angle, like we mentioned last week, came out of nowhere.
It's just unwarranted.
Yeah. There's no like real past issues aside from like the trash incident, but it just doesn't justify what they're doing.
Right.
We get the usual Raw opening video, and then we go right into our first match to start off the program. It's Mabel taking on Bam-Bam Bigelow. That's right, folks. We're starting off with our featured match. It's the one that's been heavily promoted leading into this week. Mabel backs Bigelow into a corner, but is met with a cheap shot. Bigelow hammers away on Mabel and is able to drop Mabel to the canvas. Bigelow with a snapmare delivers a boot to the back of the head. Bigelow attempts a splash in the corner, but Mabel gets a boot up and connects with a leg drop. Luna distracts Mabel, and Mabel misses an elbow drop as a result. Luna is still on the apron, but is knocked off as Mabel is sent into the ropes. Mabel clotheslines Bigelow a few times and scoop slams him. Bigelow comes off the ropes and connects with a crossbody. Bigelow rolls to the floor and shoves Oscar into the guard railing. Mabel leaps off the apron and nails Bigelow with a double axe handle. They begin to brawl until Mabel rolls back into the ring as Bigelow checks on Luna, and that gives Mabel a count-out victory. After the match, Bigelow flips out as Ted DiBiase makes his way down to the ring, and DiBiase proceeds to calm Bigelow and Luna down. Pretty much nothing going on here. The finish, I guess, is the best you can do given the circumstance, but you certainly can't have Bigelow lose here. I mean, you probably could have Mabel lose. You're not really doing anything with him. But it looks like potential here for DiBiase to be associated with Bigelow and Luna. What do we think of the match, and what do we think of maybe Bigelow joining forces with DiBiase and Volkov?
Before I get to that, just to kind of cover a couple of things here in the match, as far as small details. Savage called Luna his girl, but then immediately retracted his statement when Gorilla brought up marriage. Which is pretty fucking funny. I felt like Mabel's entrance was about 10 minutes long. So like that kind of took me out of it. But I'll tell you what, Mabel looked good against Bam Bam. He made Bam Bam look like a cruiserweight, which blew my mind because like Bam Bam's fucking huge. It was just moving around really good, and I enjoyed seeing that. I thought the bump into Luna off the Irish Whip was lame. And of course, Bam Bam goes out. I love that he shoved Oscar, like, fucking get out of the way. He goes flying. Count out, it works. You know, you don't really have to lose anything from either guy, so I'll take it. So at one point, Mabel squashes Bam Bam outside the ring. He, like, comes off the apron. And Luna's, like, underneath both of them. And Savage just goes, I think Luna needs to call 911 and take the rest of the year off. Because like it was right after the Irish Whip off the apron, so it was like perfectly timed. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know, so with the match. It could have been a lot worse, could have been better. I would have preferred to see a clean victory for Bam Bam Bigelow, to be honest with you. I think he kind of fucking needs it.
Yeah.
So, but it was what it was. I didn't necessarily hate the finish. And I'll tell you what, the idea of Bam Bam and Ted linking up, I'm into that. For sure. I think that makes sense, and I think Bam Bam kind of needs all the help he can get right now. So, I mean, we'll take it. Although, like you said, Nikolai Volkov's in that same corner. I think Bam Bam does have an opportunity to shine a little bit, so I'll take it. And while we're on the subject of Bam Bam Bigelow, I'm going to go off topic a little bit here. We got time to fill anyway.
Okay.
Over my 2 days off, so I had Tuesday, Wednesday off, I put on Hardcore Heaven 1997. Solid show. You know, their second pay-per-view ever. ECW. And Bam Bam and Spike Dudley had a match. And Bam Bam in ECW in 1997 is a completely different guy than he is in WWF 1994.
Sure.
Bam Bam's a bad motherfucker in ECW.
He's a star in ECW.
Oh my God, dude. And the fans fucking love him.
Yeah.
He was throwing Spike. He threw him into the third row again from the ring. He destroyed Spike Dudley. And it was awesome. It was only maybe a 5-minute match, but it was fucking awesome. Bam Bam kicked ass. And then he just walked out. He just left. Fucking great. This guy can be a star, but not when he's fighting fucking Doink the Clown and Mabel, who makes him look small. Like, Bam Bam shouldn't be fighting guys who make him look small. So it just blew my mind because, again, it's in the same conversation of time, the 90s, you know, and 3 years is not a long amount of time. It's crazy to see what Bam Bam could be and what he would become. Mind you, that time gap is not very big because he kind of dips again shortly after that. But yeah, man, it's so disappointing. So hopefully Bam Bam comes out of this looking a little bit better, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I've been disappointed before. So
yeah, his stuff in 97 and even into 98 with Taz.
Oh, sure. Yeah, 97, 98.
Is his best stuff. So
absolutely.
Or some of his best stuff, at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. It just shows you just how drastically different he can be presented.
Crazy.
Or should be presented.
Crazy.
We see clips from Ted DiBiase introducing the return of Undertaker on Heartbreak Hotel, which was on WWF Superstars. Monsoon and Savage are both convinced that the Undertaker is, in fact, being controlled by Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
We go into our second match of the evening. It's IRS taking on Rich Myers. A relatively quick squash for somebody like IRS, who can make a 2-minute match feel like it's going on for 17 minutes. He's able to win the match by using the penalty, which is an STF.
Yeah.
He should be sticking to the lariat, if you're asking.
The write-off. I totally agree.
Yeah.
You're going to hate this. You're going to fucking hate this. I still like IRS. He's fucking tan. He looks to have lost like 20 pounds since the last time I saw him. He just works so solid. Like, his shit to me doesn't look fake. Mind you, he ain't doing much. But I don't know, man. I buy it. I
like
fucking buy
him.
it.
I like him obviously with Money Incorporated, but as I've said before, him in a singles role leaves a lot to be desired.
I don't know, man. I buy it. I agree with the finish. I don't like the submission finish for him. I think he's too big a guy to be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm telling you, just the way he was working this match, like no frills. I'm gonna out wrestle the guy. I'm gonna be rough with him and brutal and hit him hard, and I'm gonna fucking win, and that's it. Like I like that.
Is that the type of match though you want with a guy like Tatanka or something?
Well, to be fair, they've had some good matches. Not great.
Okay at best.
Right. I'll give you this. IRS is the type of guy who needs a star in there with him.
Yeah.
IRS isn't going to be your star.
Yeah.
He needs a star. So I will definitely easily give you that one.
Yeah.
Whereas Tatanka can maybe like kind of carry it and be the star, IRS cannot.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Let's go to Jerry Lawler, who is standing in the ring for another edition of King's Court.
I'm sick of fucking Jerry Lawler, dude.
He has a lot of time with these King's Court lately.
And it's just, it kills like the
flow.
It doesn't feel special.
No.
It's like a chore. Like, oh my fucking, because none of them have been fucking good.
Yeah. If he maybe did this like once every 4 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. But we're doing it every week, and you're doing it with a guy like Duke Drosy last week. Like, come on.
No.
This week might be a little bit different. He mentions the history of the Hart Foundation and says that Jim Neidhart was the winner of the tag team while Bret was always the loser. Jim Neidhart is Jerry Lawler's guest on King's Court. Neidhart has agreed with the "We Want Bret" chants. Neidhart says that he helped Bret Hart get out of a messy situation all the time. Neidhart says that Bret has called Neidhart on many occasions because Bret didn't know what to do. Neidhart is angry that he wasn't given any kind of thank you, and he made sure that Bret retained the WWF World Championship so that Owen would become the rightful owner of the championship. Neidhart then introduces the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. Owen says he is finally getting the respect that he deserves, and he loves it.
As the crowd's booing the fuck out of him.
Which makes it even better.
So good.
Owen believes he can only trust Jim Neidhart. I mean, he mentions that he pinned Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10. He also notes that he did exactly what he said he was going to do, and he won the 1994 King of the Ring. Owen again proclaims that he's going to be called the King of Hearts. Owen knows that Bret is scared of him, and he wants to defeat Bret Hart for the WWF World Championship. Owen knows he can do it, and he knows that Bret knows he can do it too. So, a couple of things. I enjoyed them kind of telling us the story of what is going on, why Jim did everything, even though they kind of mentioned that at King of the Ring, and they kind of scrapped it quickly because it kind of spoiled it. But a decent little promo here by Owen. And I mean, Neidhart's he's good in doses.
Well, see, I was just gonna say, so Neidhart was not overexposed, and that's very, very important because he said what he needed to say to explain the situation and himself. Kind of made a little bit of sense. Like you could maybe conceive that, hey, maybe Bret did call him a couple of times. Neidhart gave him some advice, whether Bret used the advice or not, whatever. But maybe that did happen, and maybe Neidhart is a little pissed that he kind of took that and ran with it. So you could maybe buy that. But I agree, he was not overexposed. So I think that's a good point to make.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say this is it was an effective segment. I know we just said that King's Court has been kind of dreadful the last handful of times or so, but pretty basic, simple stuff was quite effective. Yeah,
and I'll tell you what. So as soon as Owen comes out, and he's in the full King of the Ring gear, he's not half-assing it at all. He's got the scepter, the crown, and the cape, everything. I'm like, okay, this is when Owen has like shit to work with. He takes it and fucking runs with it and scores a touchdown every time. Whether it's the Slammies, the King of the Ring, he embraces shit to the fullest. So here he goes. He's coming down to the ring, And as he's talking, I'm not necessarily lit because a lot of Owen's promos lately have kind of been just very repetitive. I'm more or less watching his mannerisms. And as he continues on, Owen Hart looks and sounds like a fucking psycho. Like he's like a maniac. How obsessive and like
Yes.
and like when he says Brett and his eyes get fucking big and he's like, this dude's a psycho.
That's
and
what
I
makes
fucking love it.
It's so good.
He's like thriving off the hate and turning it into a positive. He's like, yes, love me, respect me. And they're like, no, fuck you. He's like, yes. And he's just by the end of the promo, dude, just the look in Owen's eyes and like they hit his music and he's still talking on the house mic to King. So fucking good. Was the promo strong? I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about, but just the way that Owen delivered it. Oh my God. So fucking good. And Owen's he's not a talker guy. You know, he's not really a mic guy. But just his mannerisms alone and how much you can tell he's like reveling in the fact that he gets to be this ridiculous King of Hearts character and how much fun you can tell how much fun he's having with it. And it's fucking great. It's great.
It's funny you mentioned that, like when he has something to go off, he's so much better. I remember as a kid, again, without context of any of the storyline, you know, watching SummerSlam 94 on a VHS tape. There was a promo that he had on Brett, and even without the context, I remember like being like, this guy really hates his brother.
Yes.
And it's like, and of course in real life, like they're super tight and they love each other, you know,
best
deeply.
Friends.
Yeah. But I remember watching that tape and I was like, holy shit. And then eventually watching the match, but we won't get into that right now. But
well, he can easily, I feel like, especially with Brett, Owen can very easily start getting fired up. Because I feel like every time he says Brett's name, time after that, he's like, it's like it burns his tongue when it's coming out. Brett. You know what I mean? He's like, he doesn't even want to say it because it hurts him. And it just, I'm sold. Like, I'm so sold on that. It's awesome. Good stuff.
I liked his whole outfit.
I love that he's fully committed.
Yeah. I hope he has that every single time he comes out.
Oh, I know.
Just to be like delusional about it. Like I think he could
like
pull
making
it off.
it more than it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I hope he gets
fucking the Slammies, the European belt he made. Owen Hart made the European belt.
I hope he kind of you know, he does like the Jerry Lawler where he gets like carried out to the ring and stuff.
Oh my God, on the fucking throne.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I think that'd be great.
Only if all the guys carrying him were dressed as Brett. That'd be
or all their names are at least in Brett.
Yeah, that'd be really
here's Bret Hartman.
Bart the Hitman.
Bart the Hitman, yeah. It'd be great. No, but anyway, yeah, really effective. Owen looked really, really good, so can't complain. Backstage, Lex Luger is lacing up his boots for his upcoming match. And then we go ahead.
Yeah, really quick. And these little transitions are new. Like, they didn't do these before. Yeah. Like, okay, Lex is prepping for his match. I like these little things. It makes it feel more of like a total show. You know what I mean? Like, things are going on. Right. There's no dead air.
There is stuff actually going on backstage.
Yes. And I really think that's important, especially for Raw moving forward, since it's unscripted, like, you know what I mean? You need to know that stuff is happening. In the last couple of weeks, I feel like they've kind of tried to pepper stuff in. Either they'll talk about something going on in the back on commentary, they'll show a little transition like this with Lex. Super important, in my opinion.
Yeah. We go to our third contest of the evening. It is the WWF World Tag Team Champions, the Head Shrinkers, taking on the Executioners in a non-title match. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much just an extended squash match, as you would expect between these two teams. Fatu is able to pin one of the Executioners following a top rope. Big splash. We've been digging the Head Shrinkers for the better part of, 81 episodes.
Yeah.
So did you see anything here differently, or is it just by the books, get the Head Shrinkers some momentum going into seemingly a feud with the Heavenly Bodies?
It's by the books, and you know what? Fatu got to shine even more so in this match, which I liked. They are the team to beat in 1994.
I feel like Fatu is like the designated star that they want to make the star.
For sure. And I think they know that too.
Yeah.
They're the team to beat, man. They've been, I hate to say it, because you don't think of them immediately, but they've been the most consistent team since we've started watching.
Yeah.
I just feel like you can't really have too bad a match with the Head Shrinkers, which is very important. I think the run that they're getting with the tag belts has been pretty solid. I'm surprised they've held it this long because I didn't think the WWF would let them hold it this long. So yeah, man, I'm riding a high with the Head Shrinkers, regardless of fucking Captain Lou, which I don't think they need. Yeah, it was a by the books squash match. I mean, if you've seen one, you've seen them all at this point. Mm-hmm. But that's not a bad thing because I enjoy the Head Shrinkers, and I think that there's some good matches on the horizon, especially if the Guns are in the hunt, especially if the Heavenly Bodies are in the hunt. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think the tag team division is quickly getting stronger.
It's needed it though.
Before we
really
even realize
it. Yeah.
Because like with the Steiners, unfortunately, it was just the Steiners and really Head Shrinkers.
Right.
But now the Shrinkers at least have other potential candidates to to square off against. We go backstage where Ted DiBiase is talking to Bam-Bam Bigelow. But DiBiase was thinking he was just talking to him privately, and then he notices the camera, and then Nikolai Volkov chases the cameraman out of the room. So again, we're kind of going against the whole premise of the angle here, where now Volkov is like a henchman or something. I would think he'd be maybe disinterested in what's going on or not caring, but he was quick to get the cameraman out of the room. So
yeah, and another nice little transition piece. Backstage, there's shit going on. You must see TV. Don't tune out. You might miss something. Yep. Again, I think very important.
Next week on Raw, Jeff Jarrett will be in singles action against Tatanka right here on Monday Night Raw. Plus, The Undertaker will be in action, but it's Ted DiBiase's Undertaker that will be in action.
Interesting.
That is an intriguing episode right off the bat because I believe Jarrett and Tatanka had a decent little match on Superstars or channels that we watched.
Yep.
It's like 4 minutes long, but it would be interesting to see it. Yeah, it would be interesting to see maybe with more time on the bigger show. So
right.
And then you have Undertaker, who
knows?
Undertaker, who knows what happened there. So
yeah,
maybe we just had to deal with 2 weeks of poor television and we'll get into some quality stuff.
Ooh, positivity. I like that, Bob. Yeah.
That's right. Guys, stay positive.
Right.
Let's go to our fourth contest. Speaking of positivity.
There that goes.
It's Quang. He's taking on Mike Moraldo.
I was hoping they got rid of this guy.
Yeah, he's going to be sticking around, I think, for a little bit longer than he should, but he'll be sticking around. Right. Luckily for Quang, he's able to win this one, and he wins following a spinning heel kick. It's just a Quang match, so I don't think there's really much substance behind that, right?
Every time he spits the red mist or the green mist or any mist, I just roll my eyes.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Savage does a TV spot for USA again for a movie. I was bored as shit with this. I think if it's going to be a Quang match, just give the guy a minute and move on. There's no money with Quang. Nothing.
No, yeah, there's nothing.
The crowd doesn't care. I don't care. And Randy Savage doesn't care because he's talking about USA movies.
Yeah.
He gets the pin. Cool. Again, if you've seen a Quang squash match, then you've seen them all. Yeah, I can't get behind this guy. I just can't. His karate moves, I don't buy. 1, 2, 3 Kid does him better. Yep. The gimmick is so gimmicky. It's so obviously a ripoff. Maybe not to the casual fan, but to me, or if you've seen WCW, to you.
Right.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Well, luckily he's not around too much longer, but we still got a little bit of Quang that we got to deal with. Speaking of dealing with, it's our main event. It's Lex Luger taking on Mike Bell. Now, during this match, Ted DiBiase briefly comes out to watch Luger in action before departing. Luger makes a good impression, I would assume, on a potential suitor in DiBiase as he wins the match with the torture rack. And, of course, after the match, Luger celebrates the win. I gotta admit, I was kind of chuckling when DiBiase came out because it's kind of uncomfortable for DiBiase to be like courting Luger so hard.
Yeah, and it's a really like intimate camera angle because he's like peeking through the smoke, and it's like it's weird. Yeah, it's almost like DiBiase maybe has a crush on him, and I'm not talking about Kona crush. I'm talking about Bona crush. It's a little weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because he was like by the curtain or whatever, like through the smoke, just like, oh, does he see me?
You can like see the curtain like moving.
Yeah,
like down by his crotch. You can like see it kind of just
expanding outward. And like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's weird. And then he like comes out and he's like licking his lips.
Yeah,
just laughs and goes backstage. Like, okay, is this what the money's for? Is this what you're paying for? But again, here to go back to the match, this is where I think Lex shines. A mid-card guy gets a simple win, uses the rack. Okay, like I'm good with that. I think it works. Like I'm okay with that. Am I okay with Ted like stalking him a little? No, because I don't again think anything's gonna kind of come out of that. But you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Bob, but in this context, I do still like Lex Luger. Because they're not investing anything into him. He's just kind of there.
Yeah, that I can deal with if he's like a mid card.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That I can deal with. I can't buy into him as a main event guy.
Never again. Never again. I completely 100% agree. But like I said last week, mid card, maybe chasing the IC belt, maybe winning the IC belt. He ain't beating Diesel. But maybe winning the IC belt down the line, sure. Totally buy that. Totally would be okay with that. Anything beyond that, no, don't bother.
It would be way too much of a stretch, I think.
Absolutely.
Let's go backstage where Ted DiBiase is probably bragging about getting off watching Lex Luger because he's with Nikolai Volkov and Bam-Bam Bigelow. DiBiase reveals that he has in fact hired Bam-Bam Bigelow. So it looks like we have a group now of DiBiase, Volkov, and Bigelow. No Luna, I want to point out. No Luna, just Bigelow.
I noticed that.
DiBiase says that Lex Luger will be his, and it's only a matter of time, which even makes more of the context bizarre. So that wraps up this episode of Raw.
It's only a matter of time before he gets a piece of that American pie.
Yeah. Oh boy. So I would say this was another tough week. I mean, the King's Court was pretty good, I thought, to advance and set up the Owen Brett deal moving forward. But really, aside from that, for me, not a lot to really hold my interest. I know they're kind of teasing the Luger DiBiase thing as a undercard angle, but I don't know. I mean, Bigelow has a new direction, so that's good. But in terms of overall entertainment here, it was severely lacking. I'll tell you right now, the preview for next week, all of that is more promising than what we've seen the last two episodes. So I'm actually intrigued to see how they start off on July 4th. So that'll be a pretty big episode potentially for a holiday episode. So what did you think of this overall episode?
I find it weird that all these guys are being like scouted by Ted DiBiase. Because really, Ted DiBiase is irrelevant. Like, who cares? Again, he's just one of these guys that they're featuring that this generation has passed by. Yeah. I don't, unless in a very limited manager role, I don't think Ted has much to offer WWF television in 1994. I'll be honest with you. I think WCW used him to perfection once he jumps there. because he's in very limited quantities, and he's basically a manager. That's what he is at this point. Yeah. I guess it's an interesting concept, but I just feel like it's bad timing. Again, like I said last week, it's just muddying up the waters, taking away from more important storylines. Again, maybe it's just a TV thing for a couple weeks. I hope so. But with the inclusion of now Lex, with the Undertaker thing, I'm afraid that this is going to play an even bigger role in SummerSlam than I want it to. So that kind of bums me out. I thought it was a better episode than last week, but that's not saying much. Again, I think it's funny that it's the second hour of the live show. So, of course, like, it might be a little bit better. But at least we fucking saw Owen, and at least Owen got some goddamn TV time. Yeah. Because this is your star. This is your main heel moving forward, in my opinion. You know, forget Jerry fucking Lawler. Forget Ted DiBiase. Those guys don't matter right now. Fucking Owen Hart matters. So I just hope that moving forward, we're going to get more of the good, more of the important, and less of the rest. And Bob coughs like, yeah, fucking right.
Well, here's the thing. What kind of blows my mind about all this is that DiBiase's this, $1 million man. He can get whatever he wants. And his stable of men right now include a fake Undertaker, Nikolai Volkov, and Bam-Bam Bigelow.
The $1 million man shelling out money like he's the $1,000 man.
I mean, that's
he can't really afford like too high quality.
Yeah. So the thing here with me is like, if you don't get a guy like Luger, you have to get somebody of substance. You know what I mean? Of
right.
Someone, right. And I guess Luger really doesn't have any substance, but Savage could be an interesting thing.
Could you imagine?
He could.
Could you imagine?
But like what happened earlier though, like when I mentioned like Kevin Nash had talked to Sid Vicious. If Sid Vicious comes in,
oh dude,
as like Ted DiBiase's guy. So if it goes like Sid, Bigelow, get the fuck rid of Volkov, and like fake Undertaker needs to just not be around either.
Even if they end up getting Lex, that's a hell of a fucking team.
If you had Sid, Lex,
and
Bigelow, and like one more guy to like take the falls,
dude, yeah,
like that's a pretty strong group of guys. That you
imagine if Bulldog returns heel.
Sure.
You know, that'd be interesting. Like, let's see what happens with that.
I did it for the fucking money.
Well, hey, he's seeing Anvil getting paid. He's seeing Owen getting paid.
Yeah, why not?
I'm here for the fucking check, man.
Yeah.
I didn't sign with WWF. I signed with Ted DiBiase. He offered me more money. I don't care what the WWF has to say.
Yeah. I mean, you could even maybe do like a stretch where, like, Lawler is involved with them.
Or, yeah,
a fall guy,
Something, yeah. That would be fucking awesome if it was Bam Bam, Lex, Sid, and King. That'd be a fucking kick-ass stable.
Because here's the thing. King can be your talker.
King can be your talker and your fall guy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you can do tag team matches where it's like Lawler and Sid against whoever.
Sure.
And Lawler would talk them into the arena,
Easily.
But right now, they're... this little group of guys is not looking very promising.
No. There's nothing impressive at all.
Nothing at all.
So...
next week's episode is Jeff Jarrett, Tatanka, the fake Undertaker will be in action. And then the July 11th episode, at least to this point, the only thing we know about for that one is that the WWF World Champion, if he is still champion, Bret Hart, will be defending against the 1-2-3 Kid. So next time that we sit down to record might actually be
pretty kick-ass.
Some pretty good stuff going on here.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. Some actually good wrestling for once.
Right.
The last couple weeks comparatively. So.
And it's such a plague too, because it feels like after every either main like pay-per-view or super show, it's kind of like a slump.
Yeah, there's that lull. Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't know. I mean, they really don't have too much time to get us to SummerSlam, and SummerSlam's a huge fucking show.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they kind of don't drag their feet for too much longer because there's some shit needs to start happening. So
Yeah,
I agree. I'm looking forward to next time we sit down.
Yeah, all we have is like Brett Owen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing else to fill out the card or anything.
Well, and even they're stars. They just don't have any direction. Like, what's Diesel doing right now? I don't know. You know.
Yeah, he has no challenger.
Sure. There's stuff going on. They're just stirring one pot right now and kind of letting everything else settle and cool. So I'm ready for them to like fucking dump that pot out and let's start cooking with the good shit again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But luckily for us, we always bring the good shit. Even when they give us bad shit, we're able to turn it around like Chef Ramsay, and we make it good shit.
You're goddamn right. And you know what? We passed an hour again this week, motherfuckers.
We did it.
So you are welcome.
Goddamn miracle.
I quoted 45 minutes. We beat that.
Boom.
So suck on it.
It's good stuff. Also, remember, next week's episode, we'll do the mid-year awards.
Yes.
Similar to what we did in 1993. And
Right.
we'll do that moving forward, and I don't see why not. So we'll probably do that before we cover anything. I feel that'd probably be
I like that idea. Yeah.
a good way to do it.
I like that idea.
So I'll be sure to actually probably post it on the Facebook page for anybody that wants to share their own awards. I'll put the categories up. Maybe I'll do a few different ones. I don't know. We'll see.
Sure.
We'll see how it goes from there. But Austin, if you don't have anything else, that might wrap up episode 81 for us this week.
Yeah, man. I think that's a wrap. We've made it through the fire, so let's get to the goods.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. For Austin Skinner, I'm Bob Collier Jr., and this has been another great episode of ICOPOD.
You gotta hear it.